Hey guys, it's Brandon here. Now, you do not want to miss this $4.5 million property right back behind me. Yes, it does allow for short-term vacation rentals. In the video, we're going to be comparing multifamily properties versus short-term rental vacation properties so that you know where to best put your money. And be careful, because this video could have the secrets, the tips, and the insights that you need in order to make sure that your next deal is profitable. I will be covering your gross rental income, your capital gains recapture tax. We're going to talk about net present value. We're going to talk about depreciation and depreciation recapture. You name it, it's in this video. If you're a savvy investor, please be sure to stay tuned so that you make a smart move for your next commercial real estate investment. All right, guys, I just want to do a quick pan of the area real quick. As you can see, we are oceanfront right here in North Myrtle Beach. Now, this amazing $4.5 million property is called the Jamestown. As you can see, it's signed right there. Now, obviously, there's excellent, parking, plenty of parking around here. I'm going to take you on in to the house. Then we'll get outside to see the putting green and the pools. You name it, we'll see all of the outdoor amenities. All right, as soon as we walk in, you can see the stairs here leading up to the main entrance. You have a fridge over here on the left. This home is stunning. All right, as soon as you walk in, to our right, to our left, more stairs and rooms. We're going to start here in the main common area. All right, we have our little bar here. To the left, you have your utility room, laundry room. Of course, absolutely stunning backsplash, gorgeous cabinetry, stainless steel appliances, dual dishwashers, dual stoves. I mean, this is every chef's dream. Now, look at the natural light. It's everywhere. It's absolutely stunning. You do have, obviously, the bar here, and then a whole separate island for seating. Of course, you'll see, let's take a quick look, all the patios on this property. I mean, every single level filled with patios. Absolutely stunning. This one leads straight down to the pool, as you can see. And your own private beach access, which we'll check out in just a minute. This place is beautiful. Recessed lighting throughout, as you can see. Beautiful. Living room. And again, what makes it so enjoyable is all of that natural light coming in through those windows. All right, let's check out some of your rooms. This is going to be powder room, as you can see. You have a bedroom here. There's your restroom, shower, dual vanities. Dual beds and a patio on the front. Got a beautiful covered porch right here. Now this does connect all the way down to the other bedroom, which we'll be in just a minute, and I'll show you that one. A great covered porch. They've got some furniture out here, great for just hanging out. This is your closet. You can see here. Your other bedroom, we were just outside of that door right there. And of course, restroom and shower. Do have a linen closet in there as well. Let's get upstairs. All right. There's your washer and dryer right here. Now immediately when you walk up, you're going to notice a room here. You have more rooms this way. We'll get there in just a minute. You do have stairs right here. Let's start on this side. Now this is the elevator. It does go to all the floors. Again, beautiful patio. Plenty of access out on this level. Again, leading to the other bedroom. Dual vanities. Gorgeous shower, as you can see. Let's check out that other bedroom. Double beds. Shower. Single vanity. Again, your patio. Which is a super cool view. A little bit higher up this time. Your closet right here. You can see. All right. It's your next bedroom. It's set up so well. It's perfect for Airbnb, guys. These are obviously a smash hit with families. Got your flat screen TV and your restroom, dual vanities, tub shower combo. Now this one's a little bit windy. That is a slider door back behind that screen cover, as you can see. We'll go out there in just a minute. Look at that. Standard shower there. Dual vanities. Of course, a closet behind that door. Let's just take a peek. Another balcony, as you can see, with another gorgeous view. Let's get one last gander at that room real quick. Your next bedroom, absolutely stunning. Flat screen TV, plenty of natural light, nice seating area. Dual vanity. And of course, a very nice tiled shower. Now you do have closets here. These are going to be mainly the closets with the codes for your cleaning lady. Let's get to the top floor. This is the winner, guys. In my book, this is the winner. Nice hall. Look at all the fun stuff happening in here. So, as you can see, there's a nice living room here. Plenty of natural light coming in through these windows. Pool table. I mean, you've got games, you've got fun, you've got tables. And of course, Your own little setup here. Now, the patios are the winners. This is what people want. This is the money maker. People on Airbnb are looking for patios. This is what they're looking for in those pictures. They want to know they can see all the way down that coast. They want to know they have the best view of the beach for their vacation. And this listing has 3 stories of great patios. It's absolutely stunning, guys. Of course, stainless steel appliances, dishwasher, refrigerator. We do have a half bath here, as you can see. We do have dual beds here. Nice little seat in the corner, chair in the corner. We do have a dual vanity. You have one vanity here to the left. You have another vanity here to the right. A restroom, of course. And your tiled shower. Closet here. Elevator. And of course, another gorgeous room with a flat screen. Look at the size of that bathroom. Absolutely stunning. Again, tiled shower. We have a closet here. Good sized closet. And of course, dual vanities. Natural light goes a long way in this house. All right, let's get back downstairs and check out all of the amenities. All right, guys. Now let's check out some of these great on-site amenities. Obviously, you got your putting green here, which is phenomenal. Nice little seating area, your grill, of course, a little bar here. Plenty of tables and chairs. Your own little hot tub. Your own little pool with waterfall. And plenty of area to lay out in the sun and get the tan that you want. Now there is a shower here, but there's also a shower inside. I'm going to show you that one in just a minute. Let's check out this private beach access. This is what your guests pay for. They want to be front and center for that ocean, that sand and that ocean. Guys, we're at the beach. That property right there is your next cash cow. All you've got to do is pick up the phone and call me. It's 843-360-1737. Guys, I get calls and emails all the time from investors just like you looking to make a savvy investment decision when it comes to commercial real estate. Give me a call, 843-360-1737. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be difficult. I can take you from where you are to where you want to go most of the time in 2, 3, 4 conversations. We can get through a lot of the hurdles, get a lot of your questions answered, and then run those numbers so that you know that you're making a sound and a solid, savvy investment decision. If you're interested in commercial real estate in the Myrtle Beach market, in properties just like this $4.5 million property back behind me, don't be a stranger. Pick up the phone and give me a call. I don't care if you're 6 months out, if you're 2 years out. I don't care if you're a first-time investor and you need a lot of coaching and a lot of help. That's fine. You need to get with a solid and professional broker that can get your questions answered, that has the boots on the ground information that you need, and that can run the type of analysis to ensure that you're making a sound investment decision. Don't be a stranger. Call me. Be a friend. It's too easy. It's a simple conversation. 843-360-1737. All right, guys, so let's work through your numbers right here at 4208 North Ocean Boulevard in North Myrtle Beach. Now, I'm going to draw your attention to the cash flow analysis worksheet. We're going to cover the top portion of that worksheet first. There's several sections of this worksheet. Your top portion is going to calculate how much money is going to be out of your pocket to get into this deal. The next portion is going to have your mortgage data, and it's going to have your cost or recovery or depreciation data on it. Then it's going to have a taxable income section. This is how it's going to impact you financially according to your taxes. And then finally, it's going to have a cash flow section. This is the actual money that's hitting your hands. But let's start with the first portion of the worksheet. Now, your purchase price was $4.5 million. Your acquisition cost, we've got you paying 2% brokerage fees. That's $90,000. Your loan cost is 2% of the mortgage. Now, that mortgage is the very next line, $3,375,000. Now, 2% of that for the year is $67,500. Then your initial investment is going to be $1,282,500. So essentially, we'll take our purchase price, we will add in those acquisition costs, we'll subtract out our loan cost, we'll subtract out that mortgage, and then we will be left with the initial amount that's going to be out of your pocket to get into this property. Now, moving right along, let's jump into your mortgage data. Your amount was $3,375,000. That's 75% of the purchase price. It is assuming you're going to pay 25% down on that loan. Your amortization period, we've got you 25 years. Your loan term is 5 years. Your payments per year, 12 payments per year. Your periodic payment, that monthly payment, is going to be $23,853.80 for a total annual debt service. If you multiply that $23,853.80 by 12 months, you're left with an annual debt service of $286,245.60. Again, those loan costs were 2% of the mortgage, which was $67,500. Now, your cost or recovery data, or another way to say that is depreciation. Your improvements on this property, that value was $4,590,000. That's going to be the $4.5 million purchase price, plus the brokerage fees of 2% at $90,000. We're going to use a straight line method. The useful life on this property is 27.5 years. And of course, your recapture tax. The tax that the government is going to charge you, recapture tax, on that cost or recovery is 25% of what they allowed you to write off on the property while you own the property. Now, let's keep moving. The next section of the worksheet is going to be the taxable income section. Now, the potential rental income on this property is $352,941 in year one. Now, all of the other years after this, 2 through 6, I have escalated that rental income by 2% in keeping with inflation. Now, your expenses are going to do the same thing. They're going to increase by that 2% each year. Your vacancy and credit losses, we're assuming an 85% occupancy rate. So 15% of it being not occupied for the year brings you to a total of $52,941, which leaves you with an effective rental income of $300,000 for the year. Now, your other income, essentially that would be like parking income that could collect for a property like this. It could be a billboard on the side of the property, or somebody might pay you to put up a sign in the yard, stuff like that. We don't have any of that data here, so that effective income then becomes our gross operating income of $300,000. Your operating expenses, I've got you at $120,000. That is 40% of the gross operating income is your operating expenses. We'll cover some of those specifics in just a moment. Now, if you take your $300,000 operating income, you subtract out your operating expenses, you are left with a net operating income of $180,000. Now, the interest on your first mortgage, let's cover that. The first year's total interest was $234,614. You can see every year after that, it goes to $230 in year 2, $226 in year 3, $222 in year 4, and then $217 in year 5. It's going to be decreasing. That's the amount of interest that you can write off in each of those respective years on this loan. Keep in mind, this section of the worksheet is about the taxable income. So it's all in keeping with how it's impacting you with regards to your taxes. Now, your depreciation or your cost or recovery improvements for year 1 was $84,792. Years 2, 3, and 4 were $88,466. And then again in year 5, you drop back to that $84,792. Real quick, let's cover how I arrived at those numbers. All right, so whenever you're calculating depreciation, the best place to get a defendable basis for the amount that you are depreciating this property is going to be your county assessor's office. So you're going to go in and check out what the tax assessment is, and I'm going to walk you through that process now so you can understand how I arrived at your depreciation numbers. So the first step is to find your original basis. Essentially, you'll take the purchase price of $4.5 million. You'll add in the acquisition cost of $90,000. That's going to be the 2% of the purchase price for your brokerage fees, which is going to give you an original basis of $4.59 million. Now next, we need to find the basis of improvement. So we're going to take the assessed improved value, that's $863,600, and then we're going to take the total assessed value. Now the total assessed value is going to include both the land and the improvements on the property according to the assessor. All that said, the total assessed value was $1,629,200. Now we're going to divide the assessed improved value into the total assessed value in order to reach a basis of improvement percentage. That's our basis of improvement. That's the percentage of improvements to the total value of the property. Next, we're going to take that 53% and we're going to apply a basis of improvement. So we're going to take our $4.59 million. We're going to take that 53% and we're going to multiply them, and we're going to arrive at our improvement basis of $2,433,049.35. Now that is the number that we're going to use to calculate our depreciation. Let's keep moving right along. Now, you'll notice 2 tables on your screen most likely. You're going to have, the first is we're going to find that cost or recovery deduction. Essentially, we're assuming that you're going to own this property over 5 years. In year 1, it's going to be an acquisition year. You're going to take that improvement basis, and then you're going to multiply it by the IRS percentage. Essentially, the IRS gives us tables for calculating depreciation based on whether they are residential properties or non-residential properties. That simple and that easy, and you can see that on your screen. So we're going to multiply the improvement basis by that IRS percentage, and then we're going to get our cost recovery amount for the year. Now, it's important to take into account that these numbers do factor in what's called mid-month convention. So our assumptions are based on 11.5 months worth of depreciation for the first year, 11.5 months worth of depreciation for the last year, and then the holding years are going to be the full 12 months that we are going to be depreciating this property. Now you can see there $84,791.77 for the first and the last year, and then those holding years were at $88,465.67, bringing you to a total cost recovery taken of $434,980.56. It's that simple and that easy, guys. All right, so now that we've understood the cost recovery calculations, we're going to jump down to the amortization of loan cost and fees. That's simply that 2% of the mortgage, that $67,000, I think it was $67,500, divided over the life of the loan. So, basically, or the life of the holding period, however long we will actually own the property. All that said, it came out to, for us, it's 5 years. So it's $13,500 per year for the amortization of those loan costs that you're going to be able to write off each and every year. Now, you have your taxable income, real estate taxable income. Essentially, you're going to take your net operating income, you're going to subtract out the interest. You're not going to pay taxes on that interest. Then you're going to subtract out the cost of recovery improvements. That's the depreciation write-off for the year. Then you're going to subtract out the amortization of your loan cost, and that's going to give you a negative number. You are to the clear $152,906. All that said, your tax liability, I've got you at a 37% tax bracket, was only $56,575. Again, to the clear. So you are not paying taxes to the clear of $56,575. And you can see that math play out for all of the other years as well. Every single year, it being a negative, you're not having to come out of pocket for any taxes on this property. Now, let's kind of talk through that just a little bit, because I'm pretty sure everybody's going, well, hold on, why aren't you paying taxes? If you're not paying taxes, you're not making money. That's a very, very valid point. You'll see there that the net operating income was only $180,000, and the interest alone on that mortgage was $234,614. So the property is not generating enough cash flow to cover basically the financing on the property. But that doesn't mean it's not a good investment. There are many times where we find investments that have negative cash flows throughout the years, and because of resale value and appreciation, go to the positive real quick. And I'm gonna break that down for you here shortly. I'm gonna break out 3 different scenarios at varying cap rates on the resale of this property in year 5, in year 6, and it might change how you're feeling about it. Anyways, we'll get to that in a minute. All right, guys, let's work through that cash flow section of the worksheet. Your net operating income was $180,000. Your annual debt service was $286,246. That's your periodic payment or your monthly payment times 12. If you take out your annual debt service from your net operating income, you are left with a cash flow before taxes of negative $106,246. In other words, you are coming out of pocket $106,246 to own this property. Your tax liability, I've got you again at 37% of that. In a 37% tax bracket, it puts you at $56,575. And then, so essentially, we're going to take our cash flow before taxes of that $106,246. We're going to subtract out that $56,575. It's going to give us a cash flow after taxes of negative $49,670. Now, I know you're thinking, man, I'm going to pay out $49,000 in the first year, $47,000 in the second year, $46,000 in the third, $45,000, and so on and so forth. You can see, yes, sometimes there are commercial investments that's what the deal looks like. And then when you go to resell that property, due to the appreciation in the area, how the market's responded, you can still churn an excellent profit. Let's get into that now. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories. All right, now let's jump into the alternative cash sales worksheet. Now, there are going to be essentially 3 sections of this worksheet that we're going to do 3 different calculations. Your first section is going to be a calculation of the adjusted basis. Your second section is going to be a calculation of the capital gain on sale. And then finally, the third section is going to be the calculation of sales proceeds after tax. Now, you might be wondering, what in the world is adjusted basis and why is it so important? Well, essentially, adjusted basis is the term that's used by the IRS to define what they believe the value of the property is at any given point in time. And it's important because real estate doesn't operate the same way, let's say, a used car does, having that Kelley Blue Book value. And I'm going to get into some of those nuts and bolts now. So essentially, suppose that we step back in time to 2020 and we buy a brand new Honda Accord for $30,000. every year that I own that car, it's losing value as a result of depreciation plus something called economic obsolescence. Now, today, 2025, say that car is worth $20,000. It's lost $2,000 of value each year for 5 years. It's a total loss of $10,000. I call this the Kelley Blue Book value. Now, that Kelley Blue Book value is exactly the same process that the IRS uses to determine what they believe the real estate asset is worth. Each year, they assume that it's losing value for the same exact reasons as that Honda Accord: wear and tear and economic obsolescence. And at any time, they can tell you exactly what they believe the asset is worth. The original basis, what you paid for it, plus acquisition cost. So in our instance, it's going to be that purchase price plus the brokerage fees, less total depreciation. And that's how they come up with it. So at any point in time, they can tell you what that property's worth. That's, again, going to be the original basis, which is what you paid for it, plus those acquisition costs, less the depreciation that you wrote off on the property. Now, this is called the adjusted basis. In my Honda example, it would be $30,000 original basis minus $10,000 of depreciation over the total of 5 years equals $20,000 for the adjusted basis. Now, to your question, who cares? Now, who cares about the adjusted basis? Well, if you were to sell that asset for $1 more than the adjusted basis, congratulations, you have a gain. Now, reverting back to the Honda example, if I were to sell that 2020 Accord today for $21,000, I wouldn't think I had a gain. I bought it for $30,000, right? How could I have a gain? Because Kelley Blue Book says that 5-year-old car should have lost a total of $10,000 and should be worth $20,000, but I'm selling it for $1,000 more. Now, that, friends, means that I have $1,000 gain and would be subject to tax. That's why it's so important. Now, we know that doesn't happen with cars, of course, obviously, but it does with real estate, commercial real estate. Having a gain to the IRS does not mean that you sold it for more than what you bought it for. Rather, having a gain means that you sold it for more than what the IRS believes it's worth at that point in time. That's the adjusted basis. Now, let's jump into the calculation for our adjusted basis. So as we calculate that adjusted basis, keep in mind that we arrived at the sales price by using the same cap rate that the property currently has. It's a 4% cap rate. Now, at that 4% cap rate, we took the year 6 net operating income, divided it by that 4%, and we have that $4,968,375 figure that the property would be valued for and sell at in year 6 after owning the property for at least 5 years. Now, our basis at acquisition was that $4.5 million purchase price plus the $90,000 in brokerage cost. If we take out our cost recovery of the total cost of recovery depreciation taken of $434,981, we are left with an adjusted basis at sale of $4,155,019. That's what the IRS says this property is worth currently. The next part of the worksheet is the calculation of capital gain on sale. It's going to determine at a given sales price versus the IRS's adjusted basis, do we have a gain? And then how much of that gain, if so, how much of that gain is going to be attributed to depreciation, which is selling it for more than the adjusted basis, what the IRS says it's worth, and how much of it is going to be attributed to appreciation, which is selling it for more than what you paid for it. Let's jump into that calculation now. All right, guys, now our sales price is $4,968,375. Your cost of sale at a 2% broker's fee was $99,368. Your adjusted basis, which we calculated above in line 5, was $4,155,019. That's what the IRS says it's worth. Now, if we take our sales price, subtract out our cost of sale, and subtract out what the IRS says the property's worth, we are going to be left with a gain of $713,988. Now, if we take away how much depreciation we wrote off during the life of the investment, which is that $434,981, we will be left with the capital gain from appreciation. What we made, how much more money we made than what we paid for the property when we sold the property. So essentially that's $279,008. Now, that pretty much brings us to unamortized loan cost. Again, that was 2% of the mortgage, $67,500. We subtract that from that $279,800 gain of appreciation, and we're left with an ordinary taxable income of $211,508. Now, let's jump right into the calculation of sales proceeds after tax. Again, that sales price was $4,968,375. We take out the cost of sale, $99,368. We take out the mortgage, $3,076,723. We are left with a sales proceeds before we pay any taxes of $1,792 and $1,792,285. Now, our tax savings, our ordinary income, I'm assuming a 37% sales bracket. That's 37% of line 16 was $78,258. We got to pay those taxes. We also have to pay a recapture tax on our depreciation. The government gave us a depreciation write-off. Well, they want 25% of that write-off back. That's $108,745. Then we also have a recapture tax on capital gain. Again, that's 20% of line 13. They gave us a capital gain write-off. Now we are going to pay them back at 20%, $55,802. Now, if we start with the sales proceeds before tax, that $1.7 million, we got to pay our ordinary income taxes. We got to pay our straight line cost or recovery recapture tax. We've got to pay our capital gain depreciation recapture tax. Well, sure enough, we are left with a sales proceeds after we pay all our taxes of $1,549,481. So you ask me, is it worth it to carry an investment that is negative for 5 years? Well, if you believe that the Myrtle Beach market is not going to get any better or any worse, and that 4% cap rate is going to stay the same on this property over the course of the next 5 years, well, then you've got your answer. To the tune of $1.54 million, yes, it is going to be great. Now, what if it gets better? And that's what we're going to turn our attention to next. Essentially, if it just goes down 0.5%, if that cap rate just drops to 3.5%, guys, that sales price jumps to $5,678,123. $5,678,123. Man, that's a big jump with only a 0.5% difference in the cap rate. Now, I'm just going to draw your attention down to the final calculation on the worksheet. A lot of this other stuff is going to stay almost the same. Anyways, so we jump into our sales price at $5.6 million. We go ahead and take out our cost of sale, 2% brokerage fees at $113,562. We take off our mortgage balance at $3,076,723. That's going to leave us with a sales proceeds before tax of $2,487,838. We then factor in our tax ordinary income at 37%. Again, that's $385,562. Again, we have our recapture tax at 25%, $108,748. Then we have our capital gain recapture tax at 20%. That's $194,912. We are left with $1,796,618 when we sell that property. And then finally, if the cap rate drops a whole percent, and I will tell you this, Myrtle Beach has been the fastest growing market out of the 150 most populated markets in the entire United States for the last 3 years in a row. We had 90,600 people move here last year. I believe our market is positioned to experience some excellent appreciation. And you can see it playing out right now, even in our market. Prices are holding. Sellers aren't dropping their prices. Yes, properties are sitting on the market longer. Absolutely. But sellers are not dropping their prices. People are here. The largest and wealthiest generation in America's history Baby boomers are retiring at 10,000 per day. They're moving to Myrtle Beach into Florida, and they have figured out that they get more for their money in Myrtle Beach than in Florida. It's a better value. So all that said, I believe that our market stands has strong appreciation in our future. Now, if the cap rate drops 1% from 4% to 3%, we're looking at a cash flow, a sales proceeds after tax, excuse me, of $2,197,422. So does it make sense to hold a property that is negative for 5 years on annual cash flows? Yes, if you can make $2 million, $2.1 million in sales proceeds after tax in year 6 when you sell that property. All right, guys, so let's compare multifamily properties with short-term vacation rental properties so that you know where the best investment is for you. First, let's look at the pros for multifamily properties. Number one, stable, predictable income. Multifamily properties typically provide consistent rental income because tenants sign longer leases, often 12 months or more. This stability can smooth cash flow over time. Absolutely. Definitely. Now, does it give you the upside of short-term vacation rental properties? No. Lower vacancy risk. With multiple units under one roof, vacancies in one unit can be offset by occupied units, reducing the impact of a single vacancy. Absolutely. Easier financing. Lenders often view multifamily properties as lower risk because of diversified income streams. This can lead to more favorable loan terms and lower interest rates. Absolutely, for sure. Multifamily properties are considered a whole lot less riskier than a short-term vacation rental property. Operation efficiency. Managing several units in one property often means lower per unit management and maintenance cost compared to multiple single-family rentals spread out geographically. Of course. I mean, there's no way around that. Operational efficiency is definitely on the side of a multifamily property. Economies of scale. Bulk purchases of supplies, centralized maintenance, and professional property management can reduce operating costs over time. Now, here are the negatives for a multifamily property, the cons. All right, moderate appreciation potential. While multifamily properties tend to hold their value well, the price appreciation might be slower compared to high demand vacation properties, especially in a rapidly evolving coastal market. Our market, many of our oceanfront condos have appreciated well over 100%. I mean, we're talking, $35,000 a year. I just ran numbers on one in our market, just an oceanfront condo. So you're most likely not going to see that kind of appreciation on a multifamily property, although it certainly is plausible. A lot of, some of the more recent numbers I've ran on multifamily properties would show that they are going to do well in our market as well. Are they going to do better than short-term vacation rentals? That's the big question. So let's talk through another con, tenant turnover and management. Although turnover might be less frequent than in short-term rentals, managing multiple tenants brings challenges, including lease enforcement and tenant disputes. Absolutely. Market saturation, another con. In some areas, a high number of rental units can keep rent increases modest, especially if supply outpaces demand. Those are your cons, guys. Now, key stats that I want you to take away is in markets like Myrtle Beach, multifamily properties have historically produced cap rates in the range of 5 to 7%. Occupancy, longer lease terms generally ensure steady occupancy rates, reducing the volatility seen in seasonal markets. Now, of course, ours is a seasonal market, so for sure, you have to deal with some seasonality when it comes to those vacation rentals. So let's talk through your pros for oceanfront short-term vacation rental properties. We got high income potential in peak season. This is a for sure winner. Oceanfront locations, especially in a tourist hotspot like Myrtle Beach, can command premium nightly rates. During the summer months and holiday periods, high demand can significantly boost revenue. Basically those peak of the peak months, June, July, and August, you should be making a ridiculous amount of money in those months. On many of our oceanfront condos, they make enough money in just those 3 months to cover all of their operating expenses for the entire year. So if that's a measure for you or a gauge, it should show you just how profitable those 3 summer months are. Now, flexibility in pricing is another pro. Owners can adjust rates based on the season, local events, and demand. This dynamic pricing can maximize returns during high demand periods. Uh, your appreciation and lifestyle appeal, another pro. Properties on the coast tend to appreciate well, particularly when tourism and local amenities improve. They also attract buyers looking for second homes or vacation properties, which can be another advantage when selling. Now, there's also tax advantages. In some cases, vacation rental income might offer unique tax advantages such as depreciation and expense deductions when managed properly. Of course, you need to check with your CPA about that. Both properties will give you a depreciation deduction. Now, some of your cons are going to be seasonality and occupancy fluctuations. Myrtle Beach is going to experience marked seasonal fluctuations. Off-peak seasons often see lower occupancy rates, which can create cash flow variability. Absolutely. Now, can you rent oceanfront condos 12 months out of the year? For sure. And your short-term rental properties, yes, you're going to have those holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and stuff like that. Is it going to be harder to rent those during the off-season months? Yes, with a solid property management or property manager with solid marketing, with solid self-management. Yeah, I would say that you should be able to rent those properties well. Now, another con is going to be your higher management intensity. Short-term rentals typically require more hands-on management. Frequent guest turnover means more cleaning, maintenance, marketing, and guest communication. Many owners rely on professional management services, which can erode profits. I think self-management is the way to go. That way you learn the business. Again, that's up to you. Another con is going to be the regulatory risk. Coastal areas sometimes face stricter local zoning and rental regulations. We definitely have zones in our market where you can do short-term rentals and cannot do short-term rentals. Shifts in local laws regarding short-term rentals can impact your ability to operate and reduce revenue potential. City of North Myrtle Beach is considering several different policies, one of which that you'd have to have somebody within 30 minutes of the property that can get there immediately if need be. So those obviously could pose certain, operational cost, which could erode your profits. Higher operating cost, your final con. Insurance, maintenance, especially in harsh coastal environment, and marketing can be more costly for those short-term vacation rental properties that are oceanfront. Additionally, turnover-related expenses such as cleaning and repairs add up. Again, now, can you get some of those cleaning costs more stabilized by going to like a minimum of 1 week rentals? Absolutely. There are strategies for all this stuff, guys. Now, some key stats I want you to take into account: occupancy rates. In Myrtle Beach, vacation rentals might see occupancy rates between 60 and 70% during peak months. However, off-season periods can drop significantly. So which is the better investment, a multifamily property or a short-term vacation rental property? Well, the multifamilies are going to basically appeal to you if you want predictable cash flow and lower management intensity, lower risk from seasonal fluctuations and regulatory changes, and easier long-term financing and property management. Now, oceanfront short-term vacation rental properties are going to be attractive to you if you aim for higher income potential during peak tourist seasons and are comfortable with seasonal fluctuations. If you're going to be leveraged in an investment, you might as well have the most upside possible. It's just better leverage. It's smarter business. Now, are you, again, oceanfront short-term vacation rental properties are going to be more attractive to you if you're willing to invest in proactive management or professional services to handle the day-to-day operations, or self-management. I'm just throwing it out there. And then finally, it's going to be a more attractive option for you, those short-term vacation rentals, if you seek the possibility of greater property appreciation in a prime coastal location. Now, ultimately, if you value stability and predictability, multifamily properties offer a more reliable income stream. On the other hand, if you're willing to assume more risk in exchange for potentially higher short-term profits, and you have strategies in place to manage the seasonality and regulatory shifts, then oceanfront vacation rentals might provide a better return on investment over time. In my mind, there's just no way around it. Oceanfront properties are in a league of their own. They give you some of the upside of the stock market without all that risk. And it's just a better use of your leverage. It's better business. It's a smarter move. Having the property that provides the most upside is where I want to invest. But that's just me. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories.